Hello Sunny, how are you?
Hey, hi Ash. I'm good.
So, shall we get started with the case?
Yes, please.
Sure. Our client, Easywood, is a bedroom furniture company that serves Germany.
Alright, furniture in Germany.
Yeah. Last year, Easywood had revenues of around 20 million and operating profit margins of around 20%.
20 million, that would be in dollars?
Correct.
Okay.
Easywood is not concerned about the growth and the profitability in the long term. They are quite happy with it. But they are worried about the cyclicality in the business.
Alright.
Business is good during sales times, but other times it can be quite slow. The CEO is considering entering the coffin market. He wants your opinion on whether this would be a good idea for Easywood or not.
Okay.
Should Easywood enter the market for coffins is the question.
Alright. So I think I've got the basic requirement from the client understood. I just have a few follow-up questions if you don't mind. Firstly, I want to know, do we have an idea or a number as to what currently Germany's population is?
Yes, we do have that data.
Okay.
That is 80 million.
80 million.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a few more questions. So next would be, do we have any data on the split of the demographics and the mortality rate of all the different age groups?
So split on the demographics, split on the age, we don't have that.
Okay.
You can take your assumptions.
Okay.
Regarding mortality rate, also you can take your assumptions, but I can give you one more data that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Which is average life expectancy.
Sure.
So that is 80 years.
Okay. The average life expectancy would be 80 years.
Yeah.
For Germany.
Yeah.
All right. Apart from that, do we have we had the chance to conduct kind of a market assessment for the coffin market in Germany? Do we have any data on that?
Apparently we do. So
Okay.
I'll share that data in some time.
Sure. Okay, so I think I have understood what the requirement is. So the client actually is concerned about the cyclicality of their core business, which is furniture making, and they're looking at alternate sources of revenue, probably that have less variations in demand.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think then if you could just give me maybe 2 minutes to kind of just dissect the problem and kind of structure it a bit.
Yeah, sure. Take it.
Thank you.
So would you like to run me through your thought process? Meanwhile, you come up with the...
Yeah, of course. That's good. So the first thing I would probably look at is what is the current state of the market, just to understand if it is actually an attractive market to enter into. The few things I would probably look at firstly is what is the current market size, because that would give us a fair idea of how we would be able to do once we enter the market. Who all are the current players in the market? Is it, for example, is it a monopoly, is it a duopoly, or is it a stagnant market with a lot of small players, or just kind of understand what our competition would be. I would also kind of like to understand what are the profit margins that these existing players are making, and also kind of get an idea of how many coffins are actually sold per year. And then I'm just working through trying to understand what exactly the risks would be that we would face.
Yeah, sure.
So, one would be based on Easywood itself. Does Easywood have the capabilities or the knowledge to transition or move into the coffin market, because their core business is furniture manufacturing. I would also like to understand what are the sectoral relationships, okay, in the coffin industry.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So basically, what I mean by this is, for example, is the coffin market more of do the players in it follow a D2C model where they sell directly to the customers, or is it more of that they have relationships with morticians and that customers would go to, and probably they tell these customers that buy from player 1, player 2,
So you need to say somebody in the middle between.
Yes, correct. So basically the morticians of monks. That is another thing. Another concern that I can see is because Easywood is a furniture manufacturing company, and I would actually try to understand that pivoting into the coffin producing business, which has a very negative connotation to it. So what would the customer perception be towards the core business of Easywood? Perception towards core business. And apart from that, currently I do not see any risks, but just give me one more minute to just finish this. Let's look at the state of the market.
I think this looks good for now.
I think this is good enough.
Yeah. So you have based it on the market size and attractiveness of the market and risks.
Correct.
Okay. So let me ask you about the market size. What do you expect the total value of coffin market would be in Germany? And I can actually give you a couple of data points for that.
If you could just give me.
So the average price of coffin is $1,000.
Okay, the average price is $1,000.
I've already given you the population, that is 80 million,
Yeah.
and life expectancy is 80 years.
Yeah.
So, do you think you need any other data?
No, I think if I just make a few assumptions,
Yeah.
and I kind of take it that it's an even distribution across age groups, as well as an even mortality rate, I would probably say then 80 million by 80 years would be 1 million deaths a year, and into 1,000. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. So, do you need the percentage of population that uses this coffin, or?
Yes, I think that would. I think I can assume that. I believe. So I'm going to assume, given that Germany has a huge population of Christians, as well as it is the population is a bit more skewed towards. Okay, I would take 80% probably.
That sounds fair.
Population.
So, can you tell me the market size of it?
Yeah. So I think it would come to somewhere around 800 million US dollars.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
So, regarding the attractiveness of the market, as you asked, is there any market research? So we have done some market research. I would like to share that with you. So this is an exhibit that we have, which has the landscape of current market.
Okay, so closest competitors in the coffin market. It has numbers on.
Yeah, looking at this data, I mean, what does it tell you about the
I think
attractiveness of
I think
market?
at first glance,
Mhm.
just looking at this table,
Mhm.
I can already tell that it is a pretty attractive market.
Why would you say so?
Because the three players, they currently make profit margins where the lowest profit margin is 25, that goes up to 35,
Mhm.
whereas for Easywood they are currently making profit margins of 20%.
Correct. That's correct.
So immediately that looks good. Even if you look at the volume sold, player 1 sells 0.45 million, player 2 0.175 million, 0.175 million. So you can tell that there is actually quite some space in this market to make a name for yourself.
So if I ask you, what do you think? What is the feasibility of or what is the possibility slash probability of the Easywood to get into this market? What would your
All right. So I think there would be two things to look at over here. Firstly, would be how much market share we can somehow manage to capture early on. And secondly, it would be good to look at what price point do we kind of launch our product. Because what I can see from here, the largest or the highest price it's being sold at is 1200. One player sells it at 1000, which is currently the average price in the market. And there is another player which sells it at 800 per coffin. We can see the player that sells it at 800 for a coffin has profit margins of 25, which are the lowest of the three, and even the units sold are pretty low. So I am somehow getting to the point that player 3 is actually a small player in the market. Player 1, it sells quite a lot of coffins as well as at the average price, and it has healthy profit margins of 30%, which leads me to understand that this player currently sells, it's a mass product, it sells to the general masses. And player 2, again, there are lower number of coffins sold, but it's also at a higher price point of 1200, and also has the highest profit margin, which leads me to believe that player 2 actually markets to the upper class or sells luxury coffins, if I may call it that.
Okay, so we have done some analysis for Easywood as well.
Yeah.
I would like to share that with you.
Sure.
So looks like our client Easywood does have the financial capital and capabilities to enter this market.
Okay.
They do not have any challenges absolutely on that front. However, the client has an additional concern regarding the effect entering this market might have on their brand.
Okay.
Regarding the negative effect.
Yeah.
Given the importance that their core business is furniture.
Yeah.
So if Easywood decides to get into this market, how would you solve this problem?
Okay. There are, of course, the easiest way to go about it would be using our media team to somehow downplay the launch of our new product line, so that customers don't really know that we're launching a new product, but when they start using it, they use it just as it is and don't really, there's no media blowout for that, or customer perception doesn't change a lot. But I think the most effective way would be to actually create a spin-off brand or a sister brand that exclusively, under a different name, that exclusively markets and sells coffins. Because I think in that case, customers using coffins of that sister brand won't really they won't really the perception won't be negative towards the core business, that is our furniture manufacturing business.
I agree. So Sunny, now CEO comes to you and is asking for you for the final recommendation. So how would you
so I think I'll just take a minute to kind of structure my response to the CEO. So if you could just give me that much time.
you like to run me through these?
Yeah, if you just give it 30 seconds more. Okay. So my recommendation would be definitely to enter this market because first of all it's an $800 million industry per year, and currently even though there are three major players, it would be easy for us if we are somehow able to even capture, let's say, 10% of the market. That would mean 80 million in revenue, whereas currently from a furniture business, which is our core business, we are only making 20 million, so it's directly 4 times more, and plus we would be able to make healthy profit margins. I mean, looking at the smallest player, if I remember correctly, was making a 25% profit on their products. We could aim to meet those profit margins, and this looks to me that economic advantage is gained from scale. So if we somehow manage to scale up in the future, we might be looking at higher profit margins, 10-25% as well, and even a higher market cap. Another reason why I do recommend entering this market is that there is no cyclicality in this market, in the sales of the product, which was, I think, a core concern for the CEO. And yeah, apart from, I think, minor variations over a few months that is expected, I don't think there would be any drastic changes in demand. So that's another one. And I would also recommend that we do this by actually launching a spin-off brand that markets and sells coffins exclusively, so that there is no backlash or negative perception attached to our core business, which is still our furniture manufacturing business. Apart from that, while these are my recommendations, there are some risks that I have identified that would be good to keep in mind while we actually enter this new market. Firstly would be to kind of understand what are the relationships in the market. Do the other players that we would be competing against have existing contracts with morticians or other suppliers of raw materials that are required for this product? And if yes, how difficult would it be to carve a niche for us and get into it? And the second risk I have is understanding if our current workforce that we have, again, is solely dedicated to our furniture manufacturing business, but it would be good to understand, would they be able to handle the additional workload and the demands of entering into a new market, or would it be a good idea to hire additional labor, since as far as the capability goes of Easywood, we are a furniture manufacturing business, and I assume we would have the know-how, or it would be extremely easy to understand how to actually manufacture coffins. So I see no risk over there. But yeah, the capability of our workforce to handle additional workload is something that I would still look at. Yeah. So those would be my recommendations, and I think that is all from my side, and it would be a great help, as well as it would be a great pleasure for us if we could somehow find some time to sit down and talk about how we can help you implement this and create a sister brand.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I have.
I think that's great. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.